I'm Maxine Reid, and today I'm going to talk you through a sequence to relieve tension in the neck, in the shoulders and in the upper back. You might want to have a blanket ready or an extra layer, socks or a jumper for your Shavasana, and perhaps if you want to, a cushion or a foam block or a small pillow for sitting on at points, if that's something that you'd like. Feel free to press pause and gather anything you might need. That said, we're going to start in child's pose, Balasana, or any variation of that works for you. If coming down onto the forehead or onto the stacked fists or stacked palms, if any of those options don't work for you, feel free to sit in any position that allows you to feel grounded. If you are in Balasana, if you are in child's pose, take the fingertips towards the feet, palms face up. Staying there. We take a few moments at the start of the class to ground ourselves, to connect and check in. How are you feeling physically? How are you feeling mentally, staying in that child's posture or your seated position? How are you feeling emotionally? We stay in that pose. Just check in and see how it's going, see how you're feeling, acknowledging what feels good and positive and pleasant and what doesn't. Noticing without judgment. Bring your awareness to the natural, automatic flow of your breath. Notice where you feel ease and room with the breath. Notice where you feel restrictions or any tightness around the breath or in any parts of the body when you're breathing. Noticing those restrictions, areas of tightness, might allow them to ease up. You might find more room just by observing. You might imagine now that you're beginning to breathe into the lower back, around the back of the hips, into the mid-back, behind where the belly button sits, expanding into the back under the shoulder blades. You might imagine all of that contracting, getting smaller as you exhale. Stay with the visualization, the inhales, expanding, like growing a turtle shell. Exhaling, that turtle shell shrinks just a little bit and draws closer to you. Take a few breaths here. Allowing for expansion on the inhale, finding the room to breathe, creating the room to breathe. And contraction on the exhale. One or two more breaths here. When you're ready, extend the fingertips towards the front of your mat. You're going to press up into all fours. Sending energy down through the shins, so we're grounding, we're connecting with the earth through the shins, through the top of the feet. If that is available to you, if that works for you, you can come onto the toes if that doesn't, but stay on the top of the feet if that's all right for you. Think about the front body, from the hips right up to the neck, keeping that long so we're not crunching or sinking, at least not yet. And the back body equally long. Roll through the shoulders. Roll the shoulders forwards. So we're creating big circles forwards. You might not move much, you might not move at all, no problem. It's that intention that you're sending. Your circles might not be circles, they might feel like weird, squiggly, jagged lines, and they might not be smooth. It doesn't matter. What we're doing is having an experience and hopefully connecting with that experience. So leave the judgment and the analysis behind. Take those circles the other way, so you're circling the shoulders away from you or in the opposite direction. It really doesn't matter. Think about making those circles smaller and smaller, and we're still not dropping the belly, so don't let the belly sag while you're making those circles. Making them smaller and smaller until you come to something like stillness. Noticing the breath. Notice the flow of the breath as you do so. Moving through the cat-cow. As you inhale, you're going to let the belly fall towards the floor. Chest, heart moves forward. And you're still elongating through the arms. As you exhale, it's that tucking of the tail motion. So we're scooping the pubic bone forward, allowing the back, middle of the back to rise, upper back to rise, and chin to fall. As you inhale, belly drops, heart moves forward. We're still pressing the ground away with our shins and our hands. As you exhale, pubic bone scoops forwards, pelvic bone moves forwards, chin lowers. Repeating with your own breath. Continue to root into the earth, so pressing downwards with shins and hands. As you move with your breath. Last one of those. Make any moves, any wriggles, any movements, anything you want to do here that feels good. Apart from press stop, apart from that. Come up into a seated position. If you're comfortable on the knees, you might stay there. Otherwise, cross-legged or any position that feels good to you. Think about maintaining the length through the front body and through the back body. Resist the urge to stick those ribs out or to slump forward. We're looking for that neutral in between. Elbows come out to the sides. I'll move back and forth so that you can see me. Elbows come out to the side, fingertips up, palms face forward. Think about bringing the shoulder blades down the back, yeah. So the hands are lifted, the elbows are lifted, but the shoulder blades are drawing down the back as we continue to breathe. And notice that we're breathing. If you like a little more in this position, so don't move, I'm just moving so you can see me. If you'd like a little more, think about bringing the elbows slightly forward, but we're still drawing the shoulder blades down the back, still maintaining that length through the spine. And if you want a little more, you might turn the little fingers so that the palms are turning to face behind you. Elbows forward, shoulder blades down, palms turning to face backwards. Keep breathing. Keep noticing that you're breathing. Making that breath expansive and full where possible. You might feel the midsection around your belly expanding with the inhales and drawing back with the exhales. 2 more breaths here. Elongating through the spine. Okay, let that go. Make any movements that feel nice. Stay on the knees if that works for you, or in whatever seated position you find yourself. Taking the right arm on top, you're going to bend the arms at the elbow. So right arm on top, arms bend at the elbow and hands move towards each other. Right arm on top, bend at the elbow, hands move towards each other. They might not get anywhere near each other. That's not the objective. We're still drawing those lower ribs back, still drawing shoulder blades towards the earth. You might lift elbows up slightly. Find yourself, what am I trying to say? Find yourself in a position where you can breathe. So if you find that you really can't breathe, or that there's any strange pain, or don't take it too far. That's my point. We want that balance. We're edging towards our comfort zone. Maybe tiptoeing past it, but we're not blasting through it at any great rate. So work in a way that is beneficial to you. Last breath here. Ooh, unwind, have a little wiggle if you want to. This time it's going to be the left arm on top and the right arm underneath. Left on top, right underneath. Bend at the elbows, hands towards each other. Taking the elbows away from you as you continue to breathe. So you might possibly, and you might not, there's no problem. No problem. Remember, I'm just here at the other end of your screen talking. You're the one having this experience, physically, mentally, emotionally, having whatever experiences you find in the moment. So use the feedback that you get from yourself to guide you in the right way. When you feel like you've done equal work, release that. Make any moves, wriggles or noises that make you feel good. Take your right knee, so asking everybody to come to the knees now if you're not there already. Take your right leg behind the left, right leg behind the left, and come. Go. Right leg behind the left, elongating through the spine. If you want to add the arms, Gomukhasana. Left leg is on top at the moment, so the right arm lifts. Think about bringing that top elbow, that right elbow, towards the back of the body. Left arm, left elbow comes towards the spine. You could, if you want to, take a belt or a strap or a scarf or a tie or a tea towel, anything that you've got to hand, kids' jumper, your jumper. Maintain the awareness of your breath, the awareness of the rhythm, the awareness of the flow, the awareness of the expansion and of the contraction. You might be able to send space, room, freedom to move to any areas that feel tight or constricted. Breathing, directing the breath, directing the energy into those areas. I should have said if you wanted to sit on something here, that might be comfortable. Okay, fun little transition that I'm going to try. Try being the operative word. It might be possible to stand up from here. Maybe. Twist round to the right. And you will have your legs in the opposite position. So get there any way you want to. I don't care how you get there. Right leg on top. Again, lifting the hip, sitting on something if you'd like to. Left arm, left elbow on top. That elbow comes towards your back. So you're pushing that elbow backwards. Right arm. That right elbow comes towards the spine, so we're bringing it down and towards the centre. Again, the objective is not to make the hands meet. Personally, I find it very distracting when I try to hold my hands, but that's just me. So you can hold hands, you can hold a belt, you can hold any prop that you like. Or you can hold nothing, no problem. Fingers don't have to touch. Still rooting towards the earth, through the hips, the sit bones, the feet, still growing, and away from the earth, towards the sky, through the heart, through the crown, sending the breath into any areas where we might want more space, more room. When you feel like you've done equal work, unwind. Rock forward onto the hands. Left leg back, right leg back. Coming into a plank position, drawing the lower belly towards the spine, drawing the heart forwards and the tail, the feet backwards, knees down, hips up, chest down. Inhale. Is my plant blocking your view? Don't think so. Inhale, sending the heart forward, sending toes away from you. Exhale. Come up onto the knees just for a moment. So you can sit on the heels or sit on the knees. Reverse prayer mudra, making the Anjali mudra behind your back if that works for you. You can alternatively place hands on hips. Think about drawing it looks like my back's arched, it's just that my bottom is very big. It looks like sorry, making myself laugh. Keep the heart lifted, so you can have hands on hips, sending elbows away from each other. You could take the hands behind you, holding on to fingertips, or touching fists, or coming into Anjali Mudra if that's something that's available to you. In any case, we're sending the lower ribs towards the spine and the elbows away from each other. Just 2 more breaths there. Okay. Coming to the front of the mat, I'm just checking the time. As you inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, send the hips right back. You might bend the knees, crown of the head towards the floor. Inhale, Lift your heart, lift your belly button towards your spine. Exhale, take the feet back and lower any way you want to. That might be a step, a jump, something else, no problem. Lower as you please. You can hover, chaturanga, or knees, chest and chin, or any other alternative. Inhale, heart moves forward. Feel free to come into up dog here if you'd like to. Tuck your toes. Send your hips right back. Bring the right leg forward. Left knee down. Press into the corners of the front foot, 4 corners of the front foot. Lift the torso, hands on hips. Breathe here. If you'd like more, perhaps drop the fingertips. More than that, clasp hands. We're still lifting through the collarbones. And if you want more than that, you might shuffle that front foot forward. And maybe bend through that front knee. Breathing here. Two more breaths. Transition, right leg moves back. Lift the left leg and bring it forward. Any way you want to get that left foot forward. Right shin down if that works for you. Torso lifts, hands on hips. You might do the same thing on each side or not, no pressure, no problem. Perhaps dropping fingertips or clasping the hands. You're going to breathe in whichever your chosen position is. Still rooting down through the 4 corners of the front foot, through the shin, through the foot of the back leg. It always makes me laugh saying back leg. People don't have back legs unless they do yoga. Okay. Bring back foot to meet front foot. Inhale here, belly button draws towards the spine. Exhale. Standing inhale. Pressing through the feet as the energy rises. Exhale, Samastiti, hands by the sides. Take your feet slightly apart. I'm going to show you from behind. Place hands on hips, thumbs on the back. Inhale as you lift the heart. And as you exhale, you might bend your knees a little or a lot perhaps. Think about bringing hands to the shins or the tops of the feet. More than that, you could take fingertips or palms under the feet. What are we doing? Lifting the tailbone, lifting the back of the hips towards the sky. Really sending the back of the hips like we're arching our lower back. And breathe wherever you find yourself. So whether that's with bent knees or hands in any position. 2 more breaths there. Crown of the head still pointing down. Bring your hands to your hips once more. Press thumbs into the back of the hips. Press feet into the mat as you lift. Exhale. Taking your feet wide now, quite wide, fairly wide. Toes pointing forward. Lift your arms. Palms face forward, so the fingertips are up and the palms face forward. Drawing your inner legs towards each other. And you're going to send the hips right back as you lower the palms. So the palms now face the ground. We inhale to stand. Exhale, send the hips back. Try not to sag the belly here, so we are still drawing the belly button towards the spine. Inhale. Exhale, sending those hips right back. Belly button does draw towards the spine, so we're not sagging. Exhale, send those hips right back. One more of those. Think about lengthening along the sides of the body, finding more room if there is any to be had along the ribs. So staying here, I should have said that. Holding this position. 2 more breaths. And when you're ready, press into the feet. Palms together. Lower the arms and bring the feet together any way that you'd like to. Except I shouldn't have done that because I just realised I want you to keep your feet wide. Just like in class, eh? Doesn't really make any difference whether we're in lockdown or not. Take the hands on the hips once more. We're going into Prasarita Padottanasana, wide-legged forward fold. So take any variation of this that you'd like if it's something you're familiar with. And if you haven't got a clue what I'm talking about, hands on hips, feet wide, pressing the legs towards each other, heart lifts up as you inhale, and you're going to fold forward, pressing on the back of the hips to help you go down as you exhale. Breathing here. We were looking at length along the sides in the last posture where we were bending forward, and we still want to recreate or work towards that where we can. What do you need to do? You know, where do you need to engage to help that to happen? Where do you need to relax to help that to happen? Ready? Standing, pressing into the legs, pressing into the 4 corners of the feet, drawing through the lower belly, lifting the heart, soften knees if you need to. Okay, drawing the legs back together. Ooh, yeah. Okay, so if dolphin is something you're familiar with, that's where we're going now. Sending the hips back, elbows towards each other. Elbows under the shoulders, that's what I mean. And gazing between the hands. Alternatively, you could, whatever this is called, downward dog, classic. And additional alternative is coming onto the hands and knees and working through the shoulder rolls that we started with at the start of class. So choose your option now. Down dog, dolphin. If you're in dolphin, look between the hands and scoop the pubic bone forwards, lifting up between the shoulder blades, gazing between the hands. As you breathe, as if it's a walk in the park, which it definitely isn't. One of the things that we're doing in these situations is sitting with, working with, and just examining these feelings and experiences that don't feel amazing. Dolphin might be a wonderful feeling for you, it might not. Down dog might be, might not. Likewise with the shoulder rolls. We're not here to enjoy, but we are here to experience. Okay, I reckon that's enough of that. So, if you would like to play through a bit of Pincha Mayurasana, forearm stand, now is the time to do that. You might want to press pause, come onto the forearms, perhaps against the wall, gazing between the hands. You might lift one leg and stay there for a couple of breaths. Lifting the other leg and staying there for a couple of breaths. And perhaps taking both legs off the ground with or without a wall. Last posture. So press pause if you want to take a couple of minutes of forearm play. And if you're ready for your relaxation, feel free to use a wall. You could take legs at the wall with the back on the ground, palms face up. Or you can take your preferred Shavasana position, maybe with feet wide and knees falling in together. Or legs extended, feet wider than the hips. Whatever you've chosen to do, may it bring you an abundance of blessings.